Hey, and welcome to another episode of Arguing Art, here on Arguing Art, unless you're watching us on a video server, I guess.
Yes.
But this is the second in our series of primer questions. We talked about why bother defining art. Pretty well. We had some good discussion on that.
It was fun.
And now we're going to do sort of an art puzzle. Just to get your head thinking in that right direction, we're going to talk about when does art come into existence? When does art become art and not just paint on a canvas?
I'm Adam Sterner, and this is Micah Luke. And Micah, I really like the way that you phrased that. When does art become art and not just paint on a canvas?
I was up all night writing that.
I believe it.
Thanks. Well, it's a good question. I mean, you know, if you're going to discuss an object, you have to know when is it created, when does it happen.
Okay.
You know? Basically, there's two schools of thought, right?
Yes, there are two schools of thought in this. The first of which would be that as soon as the artist creates that work is done. That is the piece of art. The artist goes and sets up his canvas, grabs his paintbrush,
Paint can.
can of spray paint, starts painting on the canvas, finishes exactly what he has envisioned, and the work no longer changes. It's finished.
Got to sign it. We didn't sign the painting.
I don't know. That's a debatable practice.
It is. I always feel weird when I sign mine. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But so then it no longer changes. This first school of thought would state that since it won't change, it doesn't matter who sees it, how many people it's shown to, whether it's thrown in a dark closet, that is the work of art.
Because it is exactly the same as it will be for the rest of years, right?
Yes.
See, and then the flip side of that argument would be that it needs to be experienced. Because art is just paint on a canvas until someone looks at it and says, you know, I get what it's trying to say. I understand what it means. Sort of like, well, think about it in like a sort of a like iconography. There we go. Iconography, or like a symbolism sort of sense, right? So if I take a pen and, you know, I cover up and I put two dots and a half circle. It's just two dots and a half circle, right? That's all that exists. It's two dots and a half circle, just some ink on a piece of paper. But then when I take my hand away and show it to someone, you can recognize the two dots and a half circle as a smiley face. And you interpret that, and that becomes a smiley face. That becomes what it was intended to be. So with no one looking at this art, how can it be art? And that's the second argument. That leads into that second argument that it must be experienced by an audience. It must be interpreted. It must be understood in order for it to be art. Otherwise, it's just paint on a canvas.
Okay. And the counter argument to that would be, when the artist goes through the process of creating this work, they experience it themselves. Mm-hmm. It's been interpreted through the artist. So no one else needs to see it since the interpretation has already occurred.
Right.
It's already been experienced, and that experience is the art's creation.
So, you know, I see the pros and I see the cons for both. Mm-hmm. I know what I believe. Adam knows what he believes. But we want to hear what you guys believe. Hit us up and drop some comments on arguingart.com. If you're looking at us on a video server, you can comment and rate here. You know, that's cool too. But we really need you to go to the website and rate or comment there because that's where the meat of the conversation is taking place. So definitely hit us up at arguingart.com. We want to hear your argument for or against either one of the That was a lot of arguments.
We want to hear what you think.
Yes.
Where you are on the side. Is art created? Is the work of art, has it occurred when the artist created it, or does it have to be experienced by someone other than the artist in order for it to be a work of art?
Yeah. When does it come into existence?
Yep. Thanks for watching.